You didn't stumble here by accident. That tug in your chest, that quiet curiosity that made you press play, treat it like an invitation addressed by name. There are moments in life that feel ordinary from the outside but sacred from within, like a door that looks plain until it opens. This is one of those doors. So don't close your heart. Don't talk yourself out of what you already sense. Let this be a moment where truth does not rush past you, but sits down beside you. If you've been waiting for clarity, take this breath as a signal. You're not being overlooked. You're being called, not with noise or pressure, but with a steady voice that knows you and still chooses you. Stay here. Lean in. Let these words find the places you've guarded. There is something timely, meant for now, reaching for you. Presence in the dark. Purpose doesn't always arrive with fireworks. Sometimes it whispers your name in the dark. If you've prayed and heard nothing, if you've searched for direction and found fog, hear this. Silence isn't abandonment. It can be guidance in a quieter dialect. Think of night travelers who steer by faint stars. Direction still exists, even when the road is dim. Your questions have not vanished into the ceiling. They've been received. The ache that made you pray didn't disqualify you. It revealed your hunger to be led. And leadership is here, gentle, near, attentive. When you feel like you're walking alone, picture a hand steadying your shoulder, turning your face toward a path you almost missed. You are not being asked to perform your way forward. You are being invited to respond. Purpose is unfolding, not as a rush, but as a rhythm, and your name is woven into its timing. Blessing requires consent. Look up. Expectation is an act of courage. Blessing is approaching like weather moving in, quiet at first, then undeniable. Yet there's no forcing here. Love never shoves, it invites. You still have a choice. To open or to close, to hold tightly to what hurts or to receive what heals. Take a second to notice your posture, clenched or open. Write this down if it helps. Today, I will welcome what is meant for me. Let the words settle. The joy coming is not a flash in the pan, it's a tide. It will touch what grief has numbed, what fear has hardened, what delay has dried out. If you've delayed hope to avoid disappointment, consider reversing the experiment. Let hope try you again. Welcome it consciously. Head up, hands open, heart ready. Consent to being surprised. Consent to goodness. Consent to the wave that's already forming. The turning of sorrow. You're not the only one who knows about long nights and prayers that end in sighs. Every sleepless hour has been witnessed. Every quiet tear counted, not judged. Sorrow is not your permanent address. There is a turning, like winter to spring, that no calendar can schedule, but every heart can feel. Imagine the heavy weather in your mind beginning to thin, sunlight loosening the knots of worry and discouragement. Hope is not naive optimism. It's accurate memory of a faithful presence. The losses you carry are real, but so is the one who turns mourning into music. Picture the moment a room full of grief exchanges glances because laughter returns unexpectedly. That's what renewal feels like, not denial, but transformation. Allow yourself to anticipate that. Let your inner atmosphere change first, breath by breath, so that joy can find room. Sorrow taught you depth. Joy will teach you strength. Peace that holds. Confusion isn't always chaos. Sometimes it's the tremor before alignment. When inner waters are stirred, it may be the spirit moving beneath the surface, preparing calm that's deeper than quiet. The peace offered here doesn't depend on headlines, bank balances, or perfect relationships. It comes from nearness, like warmth radiating from a fire you can't see, but feel all the same. Sit close to that warmth. Let it unclench your jaw, drop your shoulders, slow your thoughts. The metric isn't did my circumstances change, but did I sense presence in the middle of them? Real peace is not an escape hatch, it's an anchor. It settles you enough to hear guidance you would otherwise miss. And as it settles, clarity follows, not a map of every mile, but a sure next step. Receive that step. Take it. Then take the next, carried by a calm that holds. Sanctuary and healing. There is a place being prepared for you, not just an address, but an atmosphere. Picture a sanctuary that travels with you, a room within your own soul where joy is at home and hope keeps the lights on. In that place, old tears don't evaporate, they shine. They become windows where light enters. Healing begins there, not as a dramatic instant for everyone, but as faithful mending, stitch by stitch, layer by layer. To enter, you don't need a password, only openness. Pause, breathe, and say, I'm willing. Let that willingness be your key. Stay attentive to small repairs, a softened reaction, an apology you can finally make, a fatigue that eases by evening. These are the early signs. Don't rush them. Don't belittle them. New beginnings rarely arrive with trumpets. They arrive with tenderness. Keep the door of your spirit unlatched. Let restoration work in you, richer than things. Open your hands, yes, but more importantly, open your expectations of what rich means. Provision matters and needs will be met, but the treasure headed your way is deeper. Faith that doesn't fracture, anticipation that doesn't embarrass you, love that steadies, peace that outlasts storms, meaning that threads your days together, and dreams that grow sturdy legs. Ask boldly, but also notice how often the best gifts exceed the prayer you thought you needed. Think of times you asked for a door and receive a home, asked for relief and receive purpose. Let gratitude expand your capacity. Practice saying more than enough within and without. Wealth here is measured by what can't be stolen. A clear conscience, a restored mind, a hopeful imagination. Hold materials lightly, hold mercy tightly. The promise isn't scarcity plus scraps, it's abundance with assignment, blessing that arrives with a reason. Renewal of mind and strength. Feel your breath. Consider the miracle that each inhale is permission to begin again. Renewal isn't only spiritual poetry, it's practical resurrection. Strength returns in both body and mind when truth clears the mental clutter, those recurring headlines of fear, the looping forecasts of failure. Replace them deliberately with truer sentences. I am being made new. I am not alone. I am resourced for today. Speak them out loud. Let them repave the pathways your thoughts travel. Notice how clarity improves posture, how posture frees energy, how energy invites courage. This is covenant work, steadfast, patient, trustworthy. As dark narratives lose their grip, space opens for creativity, for diligence without panic, for rest without guilt. Don't underestimate small disciplines: water, walking, honest sleep, 5 minutes of silence. These are not side quests. They are altars where renewal meets your daily life and strength multiplies. Mending what matters. If your heart has ever wondered whether relationships can really be restored, let me say this plainly: yes. Not because we force outcomes, but because peace becomes a loyal companion that steadies our words and softens our reflexes. Picture conversations that used to spiral, now finding a gentler temperature. Picture joy returning without spectacle, just a warmth that lingers after honest apologies and small, consistent acts of care. Grace begins to circle you like a shield, not to separate you from people, but to guide you toward better doors, the ones that open without strain. Ask yourself, where am I invited to go first in humility? Where am I resisting peace because I prefer being right? When we let peace lead, options multiply. A call you've postponed, a boundary you can set kindly, a reunion you can attempt without pressure. Restoration isn't a headline. It's a daily practice of courage. What pain proved? Nothing you've lived through is scrap. Pain is a poor architect but an honest teacher, and in the hands of God it becomes exhibit A of His kindness. Think of the scars that no longer sting, each one a chapter title, not the whole book. If trust feels risky, anchor it in this: you are accompanied. Even on narrow roads, you are not walking them alone. Lean hard into that reality. Say out loud if you must, I am carried through this. Trust doesn't erase difficulty, but it reframes it. You are not trying to impress God with endurance. He is impressing His faithfulness on you. Take the next faithful step. Send the email, finish the task, forgive the debt, rest the body. Simple obedience is often the shortest path through complexity. Your history is not wasted ink. It's the underpainting that lets today's colors show. The end of an old chapter. You have cried enough to fill a quiet sea. Promises cracked, hopes evaporated, and still you stood. Hear this: grief is part of your story, not your name. Under the shelter of a love that does not diminish, you are safe to begin again. Imagine closing a chapter, not denying its pages, but setting a velvet ribbon there and turning forward. I've learned that endings often announce themselves as relief before they register as resolution. Notice the relief, how your breathing steadies when you stop rehearsing old outcomes, how your shoulders lower when you release the argument you can't win. Today is credential enough to start new. When your mind reaches back for what cut you, bless the lesson and return to the present. This is not amnesia. It's wisdom, choosing not to live where you bled. Lift your chin. A door is opening at the speed of honesty. A season of open doors. Grace looks like warm light on a winter floor, ordinary and astonishing at once. Expect it across your whole life, not just in one lucky corner. Where you thought the ceiling was fixed, windows appear. Where you blamed yourself for lack, provision begins to move like a quiet river. Impossible is not a dare, it's a context for God's action. Watch for doors you cannot engineer, a timely introduction, a yes you didn't script, a path that clears like fog under sun. Your job is not to push the door down, it's to notice which one is unlocked and to walk through with humility. When fear says, "This won't last," answer, "I will steward what is given." Stewardship is how open doors become open seasons. Keep gratitude close and entitlement far. What opens for you will not close because someone frowns. It opens because faithfulness keeps its word. A deep clean of the soul. Transformation isn't cosmetic, it's cellular. Think of a spring current washing the corners of your inner life. Old sediments of resentment, stale narratives of unworthiness, dusted beliefs that you must go alone. Let the water run. Let it name and lift what clung to you out of habit. Courage is not the absence of trembling. It's the decision to trust while trembling. As fear loosens, a truer certainty takes root. You are not solitary, and the road ahead, though unfamiliar, is guided. Practice trusting the unknowns by taking one brave, small step: the therapy appointment, the budgeting plan, the honest conversation, the creative draft. Faith grows by use. When doubt knocks, ask it questions. What evidence do you have I am forsaken? It has none. Then walk on. Freedom feels unfamiliar at first, like new shoes breaking in, but keep walking. It becomes your natural stride. Durable joy. Happiness depends on weather. Joy builds its own climate. The joy I'm talking about doesn't deny pain. It refuses to be governed by it. It arises from nearness, the sensed reality that you are held, then extends into strength for ordinary tasks. Begin tracing small providences, the text at just the right time, the parking spot when you were late, the quiet idea that solved a nagging problem. These are not coincidences, they are stitches in a larger mercy. Let them lift unnecessary weights, performing for approval, hoarding for safety, doom scrolling for control. Lay down what exhausts your soul without adding value. Ask each burden, do you help me love well? If not, set it gently aside. Joy does not make life simple, but it makes you sturdy. And sturdy people can carry hope farther than they thought without breaking what's precious along the way. Stretching the table. Shifts are coming, but fear doesn't get the microphone. You have a foundation now, peace poured like concrete, so movement won't undo you. Picture a table being set in your honor, opportunities arranged with thoughtfulness you couldn't have orchestrated, gifts you didn't know to request, room for others to eat with you. Abundance here is not a private stash, it's a shared meal. Ask, who is meant to sit at this table? Then make space, mentor, collaborate, give, forgive. When your life enlarges, widen your generosity before you widen your brand. This is how blessing keeps integrity. And remember, outcomes submit to purpose. If a door closes, it's often rerouting, not rejection. Keep your yes aligned with what rings true in your spirit. The promises you carry are not fragile. They are guaranteed by a word that does not fail. Eat with gratitude and serve seconds. Right on time. Some moments are not earned, they are appointed. You can't manufacture them any more than you can hurry sunrise, yet you can prepare your eyes to recognize the light. The waiting you resented was not empty, it was calibration, quiet repairs in hidden rooms, invisible alignments of people and circumstances, healing you couldn't have scheduled if you tried. If you're tempted to think you're late, consider this. You are arriving at the exact speed of wisdom. Let that unhook you from comparison. When the door swings wide, step through slowly enough to stay present. Move with reverence, not rush. Keep your habits, prayer, honesty, accountability, because favor without form can topple. You are not here by luck, you are here by design. Bow to the timing, then walk into it with a full heart. The story continues, and this chapter begins with an unlocked gate. Awakened hope, recovered strength. If hope has felt like a language you forgot, let today be your first fluent sentence. Some dreams didn't die, they hibernated, waiting for safer weather. Feel your heartbeat. Each pulse is permission to contribute something needed in this world. Ask yourself, what gift have I buried because I thought it was too small? Unbury it. Skills shelved from criticism or fatigue are being reissued to you with fresh authority. Begin with one faithful act. Send the proposal, revisit the canvas, reopen the textbook, volunteer an hour. Meaning grows when used. And as you serve, watch how strength follows function. Energy returns when it has assignment. Your life is not a cul-de-sac, it is a river with places to water. You're not preparing to be significant someday, you're practicing significance now, through presence, honesty, and a willingness to bless. Hope is awake, and it remembers your name. Inner watchfulness. Delay feels harmless until it dulls the soul. Later is a soft thief. Train your attention the way athletes train reflex, on purpose, before it's needed. Ask, what does alertness look like in my calendar, my conversations, my scrolling? It looks like small refusals that protect big yes, closing the tab that numbs, stepping outside before you react, naming what you're actually feeling. Learn the signatures of the Spirit's quiet movement, a nudge toward apology, a check before oversharing, an idea that's wiser than your mood. Cultivate mental hygiene, thoughts cued by truth, not by panic. When counterfeit comforts offer quick relief, answer with longer hopes. Write anchor sentences where you'll see them. I am being guided. I don't need to rush. Clarity comes to the patient. Watchfulness isn't suspicion, it's attentive love. Keep your inner lights on so opportunity doesn't have to knock twice. From self-focus to intercession, there's a freedom you don't find by looking inside. You find it by looking alongside. When you carry someone else's need into prayer, your own burdens grow lighter without disappearing. Try it now. Name a neighbor, a city leader, a friend whose smile looks fine, but whose eyes look tired. Speak life over what you cannot fix. This isn't performative empathy, it's partnership with grace. The holy burden doesn't crush, it clarifies. It teaches you weight distribution. Roll what's too heavy onto the shoulders that can bear it. Tears shed in secret are not wasted. They irrigate ground you might never walk, but others will. Keep a short intercession list on your phone. Rotate names weekly. Celebrate small turnings, the call returned, the fever broken, the job offered. Intercession resizes your world. You're not the center, but you are essential. Like a bridge, ordinary steel carrying extraordinary traffic. Stronger together. Isolation magnifies untruths. Community turns the volume down on lies you believed when you were tired. Seek people who practice hope, not just talk about it. Sit with them until their steadiness becomes contagious. Confession in safe company is not weakness, it's maintenance, like tightening bolts before a long drive. You'll notice inner walls collapsing. I don't have enough. I'm on my own. I must earn belonging. Let them fall. Bring your strength too. Encourage, share a skill. Show up on moving day. Listen without fixing. Mutuality is the miracle. You give and receive in the same breath. When we align our faith and efforts, possibilities multiply. Doors open that none of us could have unlocked alone. Don't romanticize community. Steward it. Set boundaries, honor time, keep confidences. In a world of curated distance, counter with holy proximity. 2 or 3 can become a lighthouse no storm can drown. Purposeful pauses. Not all movement is progress. Not all stillness is delay. Some pauses are precision, God's way of sharpening your edge without dulling your heart. Consider the quiet seasons you resented. Did patience deepen? Did resilience grow roots? Wisdom rarely shouts, it accumulates. Learn to read subtle weather, the gentle restlessness that says prepare, the sudden ease that whispers now. Use pauses skillfully. Audit your habits, simplify your commitments, return to basics. Unhurried meals, unfragmented sleep, honest journaling. Make room for a question. What if the next step requires less of me, not more? Release what's merely impressive so you can hold what's truly appointed. Doors that are yours won't panic when you walk. They'll welcome you. Trust the choreography you can't see. When the tempo rises, you'll move with accuracy because you practiced listening in the rests. Discernment and focus. Your peace is too expensive to spend on distractions. Practice the holy art of no. Decline what flatters but dilutes, what entertains but empties. Reserve your yes for alignments that sing in your bones. Discernment isn't suspicion. It's selecting what fits your assignment. Ask each opportunity 3 questions. Does it honor my values? Does it serve people, not just my image? Does it keep me honest? If 2 out of 3 are no, the answer is no. Paradoxically, focus accelerates progress. When you stop scattering, answers arrive faster. Emails returned, ideas crystallized, fatigue reduced. Prepare practically. Calendar blocks, phone boundaries, a weekly review where you adjust, not apologize. You're not chasing momentum, you're stewarding it. And when an unexpected yes appears, step in with both feet. Courage loves clarity. This is how you move decisively without becoming hard. Soft heart, sharp mind, steady pace. Affirmed and anchored. You don't need louder effort to be loved. You're already seen with pleasure. Let that affirmation quiet the inner hustler. Hold your plans lightly, like birds you nurture but do not cage. Grip promises firmly, the ones tested by time, not propped by trend. When anxiety asks for proof, point to history. The doors that opened when you had nothing to leverage, the strength that met you on the day you almost quit. Build rituals that keep you anchored. Small prayers before meetings, gratitude at day's end, weekly accountability with a friend who asks brave questions. Anchoring is not passivity, it's posture. From it, your work gains integrity, and your words gain weight. You become less reactive, more responsive. Rest becomes a strategy, not a reward. Walk forward with the calm of someone approved, not auditioning. What you carry is not fragile, it's entrusted. Treat it with holy steadiness. Freedom from approval. Let's name the pressure, the scoreboard in your head, the committee of imagined critics, the reflex to edit yourself mid-sentence. Lay it down. Your worth isn't a poll, it's a verdict already rendered. When you stop outsourcing identity, courage returns. You can say honest yes without fear of backlash and loving no's without guilt. Rejection loses its power because it no longer threatens your foundation. Practice this freedom in small ways. Post the thoughtful note without chasing likes. Choose presence over performance at dinner. Decline the room where you must shrink to fit. Watch how clarity rises when you're not campaigning for acceptance. And notice this. Purpose sharpens when applause is optional. You'll move truer, speak kinder, and persist longer. When others dismiss you, let it be data, not destiny. Lift your gaze. The one who renews you also assigns you, and his affirmation is enough. Sheltered and a way through. If you've ever felt hemmed in by deadlines, by debt, by a diagnosis, hear this like a hand on your shoulder. You are not exposed to the storm. Protection isn't the promise of no weather. It's the promise of a roof that holds. Some doors won't budge because you're not meant to force them. Instead, watch for the path that appears where there wasn't one an hour ago. A call returned, an option you hadn't considered, a quiet courage to ask for help. That is providence carving corridors through concrete. Blessing won't merely trickle, it will loosen what shackled your pace. Fear of failure, fear of people, fear of not having enough. Let those links fall with a thud. Then rest, not as laziness, but as loyalty to your limits. Rest says, I am safe enough to breathe. In that safety, wisdom speaks at a register you can finally hear. Keep your steps unhurried, your yes measured, your trust practical. You are being escorted, not chased. And the one who shields you is also the one who knows every alley, every exit, every sunrise. Order restored, hearts mended. There comes a season when scattered pieces find their places. Not because you muscle them into alignment, but because order begins to prefer you. Don't keep glancing over your shoulder. Regret is a poor navigator. Face forward and notice how the road evens out where it used to rattle your bones. Broken things won't just be taped. They'll be repaired with gold at the seams. Relationships speaking honestly again. Lost opportunities returning as wiser versions of themselves. Inner rooms once empty, now furnished with peace. Let yourself be surprised by gentleness, a late apology, a bill forgiven, laughter in a house that forgot the sound. Cooperation replaces chaos. Your calendar reflects priorities instead of panic. Even your body recognizes the shift. Sleep deepens, appetite steadies, breath lengthens. Receive this order as assignment, not ornament. Tend what's been restored. Maintain boundaries. Keep your word. sow into the connections that stayed during the drought. Restoration isn't a finish line, it's a launch pad. With things set right, you have capacity to love better, to work clean, to hope without flinching. Welcome the quiet solidity of enough and let hold you steady. Held forever, stronger for the scars. Security isn't the absence of danger, it's the presence of someone who won't drop you. You are gripped by a hand that does not tire. Even if you wander, you don't fall out of that grasp. Let that truth change how you walk. You can risk kindness without calculating the odds. You can tell the truth without rehearsing every reaction. And those scars? They are not decorations of defeat, they are credentials. Each healed place becomes a tool. Patience where you were once reactive, discernment where you were once naive, resilience where you were once brittle. What you thought was ruin is becoming reinforcement. Like a tree that survived the storm, your rings tell a story of strength, thicker, wiser, rooted deeper than before. So stop apologizing for your history. Bring it as wisdom to rooms that still ache. When fear asks, "What if it breaks again?" answer, "Then I will heal again and stronger." You are not fragile cargo, you are a tested vessel. Navigate accordingly, steady, compassionate, unhurried, convinced that nothing can pry you from embrace that names you and keeps you. No more someday, act in the now. Procrastination wears perfume, it rarely smells like rebellion. It sounds reasonable when I'm less busy after the holidays, when I feel ready. Meanwhile, doors stand open and your courage cools on the counter. Consider this your gentle interruption. Today is elastic enough to hold one faithful action. Make the call. Schedule the appointment. Draft the email. Start the savings plan with what you have, not what you wish you had. Read the chapter, walk the 10 minutes, pray the honest too. Readiness often arrives after movement, not before it. Stay attuned to the Spirit's subtleties, the quickening before a good risk, the check before an unhealthy yes, the sudden clarity that feels like a window raised in a stale room. Train yourself to move when you sense it. Delay blurs discernment, obedience sharpens it. Don't measure success by spectacle, measure it by alignment. If a step is small but true, it's large enough. This is not sprinting, it's faithfulness with a calendar. Let later lose its spell. Choose now, not as panic, but as partnership with timing that is wiser than your timeline. Practicing watchfulness, becoming a bridge. Attention is devotion in everyday clothes. Clear distractions the way you'd clear a table for guests you love. Curate your inputs. Fewer doom loops, more truth that builds bone. Give your mind a hallway where hope can walk unobstructed. Then widen the circle. Intercede, not to perform piety, but to participate in mercy. Keep a living list. Family names, a troubled school, a nation in turmoil, the neighbor who smiles thin. Speak blessing over them in sentences simple enough to remember while driving. Notice the subtle harvest. Your anxieties shrink to size, your empathy grows range, your world gains depth of field. You become a bridge, ordinary planks carrying extraordinary traffic. And bridges are maintained, not worshipped. Rest, confess, recalibrate. When weariness whispers, this changes nothing. Check the evidence. A softened conversation, a bill miraculously covered, a habit finally losing power. These are receipts of grace. Stay available. A watchful soul is a lighthouse. It doesn't chase ships, it shines. Keep shining, steady and kind, and watch fog lift for others and for you. The courage to walk through. This is the part where we stand up. Not because the path is easy, but because the promise is trustworthy. Receive your calling like rain. Don't clutch, simply open. Live unhidden, honest words, clean motives, quiet integrity, that doesn't need a microphone. Refuse the small life of self-protection. Step into the wide life of faithful risk, where you steward favor without worshiping it and carry influence without hoarding it. Expect blessing to move like a river in flood stage, powerful, purposeful, impossible to dam, yet let humility be your levee. Keep gratitude near, confession closer, community closest. When resistance meets you, don't dramatize it, outlast it. When wonder meets you, don't commodify it, share it. Anchor your courage in a God who keeps His word, yesterday to forever. Let renewal mark everything you touch, work done well, relationships tended, silence honored, joy practiced. Now breathe, decide, walk. The gate is open, the timing is kind, and the story is bigger than you feared and better than you hoped. Go in peace and go on.